してみたくてきっとどこかに答えある生まれてきた答えが人はみんなそれを求めやるせない逃がせない夢に向かうの傷つくことは怖くないだけど決して強くないただ
Welcome to day 2 of our podcast from DCAnimeReview. This is Christina, your host. And this is my compadres, Serene and Pooja.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about Sailor Moon.
Yay.
Yay! Which is your favorite. It's your favorite anime.
It's
which
the
we all
first
know.
anime I ever watched, so
Yes, of
it
course.
it holds closely dear to my heart.
Which I know that you know a lot about.
I think I know too much.
You do know too much. I think you know more than we do.
Yes.
Like, definitely, because I know, like, you've always talked about that show since forever.
Yeah, since
Since
it
the beginning
aired,
of our
like, I think
friendship.
over here in, like, 1990. Well, I didn't know you guys in 1995, so.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, it was later on.
Yes.
It was much later. When
So-
we were.
How come you guys never liked the show? Let's just put you guys on the spot. How come you guys never liked the show?
And like the transformations always took. It feels like it was always taking forever. And I think it lost my interest because seeing Usagi like spinning and spinning, Mon Prison Power,
Yeah.
I couldn't. Like, I just couldn't take it.
Like ballet.
I knew she was dancing, but I wanted to see action. Like, I wanted to see the 10 minutes that it takes to do that transformation. That villain probably would have like got rid of her already.
And I think it was like more like Street Fighter. It was like more comic or something like that. And but the truth is, with me was, I was more rooting for the Sarah Scout because Usagi, every time she faced a monster, she always ran off in the beginning. She
Well,
did
she's a
until her friends came in to
14-year-old
save her.
girl.
I know. But if she's supposed to be the leader, and the
She's
main
not.
character-
She's not the leader.
Okay. All right. So Venus was.
Venus, yes.
I know. I realized Sailor Venus was the main leader of the group, but I was like, I love Hussein Mask. That's what.
Yes, he's my favorite, but
You
it's only for other reasons.
But but he was. But it was kind of funny how he was with her. It wasn't like love at first sight, because he called her Beepo Head or something like
Yeah,
that.
in the old dub, in the actual translation, he called her Dumpling Head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because I always got used to hearing Meatball when
Yeah.
he said that to her.
yeah, that's
You know-
the old '90s dub.
That's what I watched. I watched the old 90s.
I mean, I did too. That's how I got into the show.
Hmm. But afterwards, it's not a bad show. It actually got interesting. But like later on, right, Kristen?
Yes, definitely. Like later on, it got more interesting. But it's funny though because the show is very different from the manga.
The '90s show is very different from the manga.
Yeah.
It is very different from the manga. That's why we have Sailor Moon Crystal, which we'll talk about later. But right now, we'll talk about the '90s anime.
But yes, it was. It's I guess too because like before, I think we said in our first podcast, there was a lot of censorship like in the 90s. So there was certain things like they felt like over here in a Western audience we probably wouldn't get or something. So they I guess they changed it and there was a lot, I mean, I guess they censor it for reasons, you know?
Yeah, well, no, because I mean, obviously you can tell Sailor Moon is it's a very Japanese-oriented show. So when it came over here, they had to Westernize everything. Like even like the name changes, they were different. You know, well, we didn't know. Like we thought their names were Serena, Amy, Ray, Lita, Mina, Darian. You know, that's what we thought it was. But later on, that's not how it was originally supposed to be.
So I'm just wondering, why did they do that? Why did they change their name and not like they should have
It's
kept
to-
their original?
It's to Americanize it.
Americanize it, yeah.
Because they think, because the companies over here think kids are stupid, and they won't understand like something from a different culture.
Oh wow.
That's how it was. That's how it's kind of like that with anime, but nowadays it's very like they try their very best to like keep it to the original translation.
Yeah. And I see that later on that they try to keep it close to the manga more than changing the whole perspective.
Which they should. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be that they change their original work. Like whatever somebody puts down on paper, it shouldn't be that they change it because somebody says something or they don't like something. It's their creation. It's their show.
And the thing is, with Sailor Moon being licensed over here, like the creator, she wasn't happy with what they did to the show over here when in the 90s dub. So what she did was she held all the licensing until like 2012. From 2000 to 2012, we weren't allowed to have anything Sailor Moon because she got so upset that they ruined the show with the old dub. So until 2012, we weren't allowed to have anything Sailor Moon related.
So it took about 12 years
12 years.
later to actually decide to bring Sailor Moon back.
Yeah, that's when Viz Media took the dub and they translated everything the way it's supposed to be. We got beautiful Blu-ray box sets, which Funimation needs to frickin' learn from with Dragon Ball.
Maybe someday in the
will.
future we'll get that. Who knows?
The voice actresses for the Viz dub, they were handpicked by Naoko Takeuchi, who funnily enough, she's actually married to the creator who did Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I remember you telling me this a long time ago in the past. I do remember you referring to that they're married.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
she's helping him with Hunter x Hunter because like I guess I don't know, he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Oh. But she's still motivated to still keep creating, I guess.
Yeah, like it's like a collaboration thing between two of them. Hunter x Hunter is both. It's on his name, but she helps him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's very
See,
interesting.
teamwork, because that's what you have to do. You got to help each other out.
Yes.
And it works. They kind of work for each other, because it's good to help each other and get each point of view of how they can improve their show or like what they can write differently or how they can improve it, something like that.
I think Akira Toriyama needs that.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
I think if he had extra hand, it will help him like remember things.
Now he does because he's not drawing the manga anymore. Like it's somebody else doing it. Like he's like an Akira Toriyama's apprentice. I forgot his name. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
At least that's good, because he's you get older, you can't always remember things.
And
So
that
this
man
is
can't
what
remember anything. So.
Wow. That's bad. Yeah.
But
I
we're not talking about Dragon Ball no more.
No, I know. We're off that topic. That was
I
last
know.
podcast.
You gotta-
Yeah, and as for Sailor Moon, it was feminism before feminism was cool. Because nowadays I know there's like a whole big movement with feminism. The thing is with Sailor Moon, it didn't shove like the feminist the feminist agenda in your face. But it was there, but it was like it wasn't shoved in your face like how shows nowadays are. Because remember, back in the 90s, well, what did we have? We had Power Rangers and we had Dragon Ball. We didn't have a show
Yes.
that had a all-female cast.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. It was later on they started doing that, but that was like the first. Sailor Moon was like the first you see like all the girls as the main characters,
Yeah.
and all of them were named after planets.
Yeah, and then all the magical girl shows followed after that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like later on, like Madoka, for example, was like similar to Sailor Moon, like a little similar, but it's a little
no,
dark.
that was
though.
Madoka was
It's a dark
twisted.
version of Sailor Moon. I'll just say that it's like kind of dark, that one.
Yeah,
Oh.
Madoka just like freaking like flipped the magical girl genre like on its head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you're like, oh look, there's all these little cute little anime magical girls, and then all of a sudden there's these things called witches, and that they have to destroy these witches, in order to like. But then they could if they destroy enough witches, they're gonna become witches themselves and stuff. So
That's the messed up part about
And let's
it.
not forget about that little demon Cube.
Dude,
I
it's
know.
so cute, and you have it in your room. That doll, that stuffed animal.
Listen, don't talk about him.
I don't want him near me. It's foul.
He deserves his spot in my room.
It's like be careful what you wish for. You
Yeah,
you see it's
that's
so
your
cute.
lesson with Madoka Magica. That be careful what you wish for.
All right, back to Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so I know you guys weren't too keen with the 90s dub back in the day, but now, why do you guys like it now?
Oh, it's a big difference. It's a big difference.
What,
that's
with
for
Sailor
sure.
Moon Crystal?
Well, definitely with the Sailor Moon Crystal, it kept close to Mother. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like they made Usagi more of like a crybaby in the 90s than they did now. Like I think they kind of made more of
They
a
toned it down with her being
like they toned it down, and I think that's why I kind of like it more now.
So you
Yeah.
like Crystal more than... Well, that's how the manga was, so...
yeah. Which
That's
that's what I like. They kept close with the manga though.
No,
Yeah.
no, I noticed that because I read the manga, so I know that it seems like it's more true
And
to
I
the
can't
manga.
wait for the Sailor Moon Eternal movies. I want to see Pegasus!
I know that's my. I know. I'm wishing for Pegasus to magically.
I want to see.
Appear too,
I
like
want to see
cute.
my Chibiusa and Helios, shipping pair. I love. You know what's funny?
I know. I love those too.
It's funny though, because like I know Usagi and Mamoru are supposed to be the OTP one true pairing of Sailor Moon, but I don't like them as a couple.
No.
I never care for them. Like yeah.
No, me either.
It's
I just want.
Yeah, go ahead. I like
I
to
just
talk.
want. I just want. Tuxedo Mask to be all mine, but
Well, that's your
Not happening.
excuse.
that's my excuse. I want to break them up, but.
Cause like with
happening.
Usagi and Mamoru, their relationship is like they're gonna be together regardless. So I guess
Yeah.
that kind of bores me.
Yeah, that is kind of boring because you're like, okay, we already know the plot. They're already putting them together.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you know what? They should have okay, they do have a flaw. It's not perfect, between them.
I mean,
like,
they
it's not-
did that. They had like an on and off relationship in like season 2, but it's like they're
Yeah.
gonna get back together anyway. Usagi has
Yes.
great character development in Crystal. She does
Yes.
she does in the 90s version too, but it's like it's really drawn out.
It's very drawn, yeah, and
It takes a
it
long
drove
time.
me crazy with her. Like in the '90s, it drove me at first not crazy about her at first.
And then I'm like, get your stuff together. I mean, like, even too, like, focus. Like, you're not focusing enough.
But like,
Like, she never.
like I said, she's 14 years old.
I know she's 14.
I know, but it's kind of funny because she's 14. It's like a normal teenage thing. Okay, yeah, like you wake up and oh no, I'm running late for school, and she's running, and the funny thing, she got a toaster in her mouth, like the bread in her mouth while she's running, and
What?
yeah.
But I always think of that. What was that music video we watched a long time ago where you have Usagi and you have Goku and then
Oh, they're fighting
for,
over
like,
the donut.
food. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That was
my
I remember
favorite.
that. That's my favorite. That was a funny one. That's whoever did that was really creative.
Do you know if that video is still around?
I will go to YouTube and I will check.
Favorite
Jeez,
Sailor Moon villain.
favorite
Who are
Sailor
they?
Moon villain.
Yeah.
I would have to say. Oh, damn. Well, I want to say Sailor Galaxia because she actually wiped out everybody. But then they came back because Silver Crystal. Because Silver Crystal shenanigans.
Mhm.
But I no, my favorite villain is Nehelenia in season 4. Because all she wanted was spoilers for season 4 and Sailor Moon Eternal. All she wanted was to be beautiful forever. But then she couldn't have that, so she wanted to kill everyone. So that's why I like. And she was a very sympathetic villain too.
Oh wow.
I don't really have one.
Do you remember one of them?
I don't even remember their names. I think.
Oh jeez.
Or a
sad.
Bertha. Bertha?
Oh yeah, her.
Queen,
Yes,
Queen Bertha?
Queen
The very
Beryl.
first one?
Beryl. You mean?
Barrels. Well, I know it was something with a B. I know it was her. And I know she mind controlled CMS,
Yes, yes.
That was her.
So then she's my villain.
That was messed up.
I can't think of anybody else. But yes.
To me, that was like the most messed up scene I ever watched. That she took, Usagi boyfriend away from her, and it was like he was so mind control. He couldn't even.
He's always being kidnapped, though.
Yeah, it's
interesting. You never get a guy gets
it's reverse damsel in distress. Like the girl's not in trouble all the time, the boy is.
Yes.
So what do they call that now? Prince in distress?
Yeah, no,
or...
they just call it reverse damsel in distress. That's what they call it. That's why Eren gets kidnapped in Attack on Titan for freaking 3 seasons.
So they call it reverse damsel in distress?
Yeah.
But it's the opposite of a damsel.
Yes.
But that was the most messed up. And I remember because what villain would steal the heroine's boyfriend and mind control him?
Well, remember, Queen Beryl was
a man stealer?
Queen Beryl was in love with him, so.
I know. That's the mess up. She was in love, but he didn't love her.
Yeah.
So of course she had to take over his mind to make him her.
I think that's where they got the idea for that other show, but I'm not going to mention it because we're talking about 90 anime.
Oh, I guess what you're saying. But I'm saying that's how they got some of their ideas later on. They probably looked at the anime from the 90s and said, oh, maybe I can put this in my show, and then not say, oh, I took this from the show. You know what I mean? So that's why it's good about the 90s, because you get inspiration from them.
Exactly. So, who's your favorite? Okay, I guess neither one of you care for Usagi, but who's your other?
No. You know who my favorite is.
I know. Who's your favorite soldier?
Sailor Scout.
Mars.
Mars for you. Why?
I always like Mars, and also too because I'm an Aries. I like. Yeah. Exactly.
Because she has a similar personality like Christina, so that's why. Sorry, I call you a hothead. I didn't mean to say it like that.
Just Mars, nobody else?
That's nice.
Christina?
And I like Pegasus.
What is it with you with the critters? Last podcast it was...
I like the little critters, okay? What, you're going to call me a furry?
I don't know. Are you leaning towards that area, the furry area?
No, but I just like... Listen, he's not a horse all the time, okay? I mean, like a unicorn.
He turns into she gets a tiger, it's her favorite.
He has a human form, okay?
Yeah, Helios is kind of handsome, so. And he's kind of princely, too, so.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I'll be taken care of. I don't have to do anything. He's a prince, you know?
Hey, he belongs to Chibiusa. No. He's Chibiusa's, man.
I like Chibiusa, too.
Yeah,
but those are my eye candy, okay? So just leave me alone with my eye candy.
Okay.
What about you, Doreen? Who's your favorite sailor?
Like Sailor Scout?
Yes.
Interesting.
You can't choose Mars because Christina already called dibs on her.
I know. Why you took that?
You knew that was coming.
Oh man.
I don't know why you think that you were gonna have Mars.
If I had to pick, I like the Jupiter. The one with the thunder, the lightning power.
Yes.
I loved her.
Why?
I like her character. And then if I had to pick another Sailor Scout, I would think Mercury, with the bubble.
Yes.
Because she was like the brain. She was like the brain of the whole Scout and everything. And she was always there for her friend. That's what I loved about her. And Jupiter was always there for them too. But she was like just as tough as like Mars was.
But she has a boyfriend issue, so.
I know that.
None of the sailor or soldier, like none of the 4, like Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter had any love interest in the 90s version because in the manga they were supposed to be paired with Tuxedo Mask's guardians. The four soldiers that belong to
the ones that were supposed to protect.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's what I like. But it's interesting how they put it in the manga, but they didn't put it in the 90s.
No, like I said, the 90s anime is very different from the manga. That's why we got Sailor Moon Crystal. And as for my favorite characters, I have too many.
We know.
We know. You got a lot.
If I had to pick two,
Uh-huh.
I pick Sailor Venus because she's the most like me when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why I gravitated more towards Sailor Moon than any other anime because I saw myself in that show.
Oh, okay.
Like you guys know this is gonna get a little personal, but you guys know me for a long time, but people in the audience
Yes.
they don't know me for a long time, and I was a very quiet child.
Yes.
Yes.
So
That's
when
not
I
right.
when
Yeah.
I when I wa- like I wouldn't like stand up for myself and this and that, but when I watched Sailor Moon, I kind of got out of that. Be like, okay, I can be a strong person, just like that people on the show.
And I think it helped a lot of people.
It helped a
like,
lot of people and also a lot
Especially
of
young girls.
young girls. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and-
gave them something to look up to, I think.
Exactly, and my other favorite character is Sailor Neptune because I just freaking love Michiru. She's one of my many girl crushes that I have for fictional characters.
No, I like the other Sailor Scout too. Like I like them also, like Neptune or Pluto.
Pluto is cool.
He was
Yes.
cool.
I just felt bad for Pluto because Pluto was kind of like trapped for a while, and then right? Wasn't
She comes back in season. Well, in the '90s version, it was season 5, but in Sailor Moon Eternal, you'll get to see all of them again, and Saturn too. She gets to do a lot more.
Oh, good.
in the new
Well, that's
movie.
good.
So
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, when is that movie coming out though?
it's out in Japan. Just
Oh,
it's just not over here
yeah,
yet.
and
Not here
I don't
yet.
even know when we're getting it. It's like with Demon Slayer. We have no idea when that's coming.
Oh,
I know the pain.
I know. I'm just waiting. It drives fans crazy. I know it drives them crazy. Like they really want to see it so badly, and they still have to wait.
Yeah.
You know, for its
everything
release.
got pushed back?
I was just thinking, like, if you can you see any of us? Who do we relate to the Sailor Scout? Like Christina or me? Like, who do you think that we're related to?
Youth? Okay, Christina, definitely Jupiter.
Oh, you see me as Jupiter?
Yes.
Uh,
Cause you're always in the kitchen whenever I call you.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
I don't know. For some reason, I just see like Venus for Doreen.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know
too.
why.
I was gonna say Venus
Oh,
too.
really? Oh, I like that. Like,
And
I
a
like
teeny
Venus.
tiny itty bitty bit of Usagi.
I knew you were gonna say that. Why did everybody
Yes.
say
Oh,
that?
yeah, tiny bit. Yeah, it's because things happen to you, and that's why.
Yeah. So now we brought this up. Who do you guys see me as? Which Sailor Scout or Sailor Soldier?
I don't know. I just always see you as Mercury.
Why? Because I'm quiet.
Quiet,
No, because you're
but
smart.
you're always smart, and you always were writing your fanfics and your books and stuff. So she's always she always was very intelligent in that sense, and that's why I always thought of you as Mercury.
Yeah. So I always thought about Mercury with you, Poncha. I agree with Christina about that. Because, you're always very smart. And then you get onto the computer or you're always helping your friends too. And that's what it is. You have a good personality about you. And that's why we always think of Mercury when we see you.
95 is when Sailor Moon originally ended in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
1985.
And
wow.
that's when we got it over here in North America.
Yeah.
It ended in Japan. We got it over here in 95.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It was only like a few years, right? It was only
When did it start? When did it start? 91.
92.
Oh,
92.
92.
So it's 92. Only like maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I was
They
saying.
were-
Sailor Moon ended in Japan in 95, and that's when we started getting it over here in the United States.
Yeah, so we got it much later.
Yeah.
Much later.
Oh,
I was
we-
interested.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking because when we heard the opening theme song back in the 90s, that was the dub how they did it, right? The 91 that wasn't
Yes. Yes,
the
that wasn't the original dub score. They just used the exact music from the Japanese version, but they changed the lyrics.
Mhm.
Yeah, the original The original name of the song is called Miracle Romance.
There's romance.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not that Sailor Moon thing that they have. Like
yeah,
she's
the
the one
fighting.
named Sailor Moon.
Yeah, no.
Well, the one that it was my favorite song actually was "The Power of Love."
Oh
You know that
yes.
song?
I do like yes.
I still love that song, even though
I like that
It's
song.
it's
I
ca-
wasn't
it's
original.
still yeah it's still I mean I enjoyed the North American soundtrack. I have all the soundtracks on like CD. I own all.
And
of
then
them.
you got all those popsicle things too.
Yes.
yes.
Well, how many Proflicas do I have? I have 3.
Oh, 3 of them. Okay.
Yes, I have 3 Proflicas. I want season 5 Proflicas, but they never come out with season 5. They're taking their freaking sweet ass time with it. Come on, Bandai, give me my. I want my Eternal Sailor Moon brooch. Damn it.
You know what?
I only have that chalice thing.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I have.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah.
And then
I
the and the makeup.
Yeah, and the
That's
makeup. Yes.
Well, I remember when we went to the convention, and we saw the whole Sailor Moon collection. Remember when we went to?
I remember that. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like how they did that. That was really nice. Like how they
Conventions
replicate that.
seem like so long ago.
I know. When will we go back again?
Well, you guys don't know much about season 5 because they never aired season 5 over here until now, until recently.
Oh wow. So,
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about it,
But I'm
you
gonna be the
can.
only one talking because you don't know what happens in season 5.
yeah, because we have.
Let me guess. Everybody dies, and that's what happens because they
get
all die,
reincarnated again.
and they always get reincarnated.
Yes, because
Because
of the
the
Silver
princess,
Crystal.
the prince, the Sarah Scout, even Luna.
Everybody
and
dies
Autumn-
in season. Everybody dies. Big explosion. Reincarnation. The end.
Yeah. But that's what happened. They keep getting reincarnated every time something happens.
But you should
know?
you should definitely watch season 5. It's on Hulu. All the episodes are on Hulu. This is me promoting Hulu now. Yesterday was Crunchyroll. Now it's Hulu.
Okay.
Yes.
You can watch the Viz Media dub on Hulu, and you can enjoy what it was supposed to be, and not watch the old '90s English dub, unless you got little children.
Well, yes.
Because Sailor Moon was not intended for young children. It was actually intended for teenagers and young adults.
Yes, it was.
But like we've been saying, that's how it was in the '90s. Like they thought anime was like this, kiddie thing.
Yeah, they did. They did fought back then, but now, like, they put it for. But they did. I think they were trying to focus for like maybe like teenage girls, focus on that, and young adults too. But like that, they feel like you got the power. You could be anything you want if you put your mind to it. I think that's what Sailor Moon wanted to give that message to all the girls.
Yeah, but that's how it was with the English dub with anime. I think that's why over here Cardcaptor Sakura didn't do so well.
Oh yeah, I remember watching Cardcaptor Sakura.
I don't know. I can never really get myself too into it. I mean, I've watched a few.
Watch the Japanese.
episodes.
You might like the Japanese version because that's how I've watched the English version, like the old
Yeah.
'90s dub like Cardcaptor Sakura, but later down the road, I used to watch the Japanese version, and it's a whole different anime. If you
Yeah.
watch it uncut,
Yeah, if you watch it cut, because I remember the '90 version of it, and I remember there was such a rivalry with Sakura and that boy Lee. Was it Lee?
yeah.
Yeah. See, I got it right.
Yeah.
See, I didn't forget their name. Oh, good. Okay, but I remember it was like you got like Sailor Moon with it combined with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a combination of that.
Yes.
That's what
it
it
was.
was. That's basically how Cardcaptor Sakura was advertised, and it wasn't. It was more like a romantic fantasy. It wasn't like this card game magical girl thing.
Oh yeah. And then these monsters, she had to capture them, and she used the card
That's
Or
what
the
I
wand.
remember. And then she had to use the wand with the cards.
to seal it.
Seal them,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
That was the way of doing it. But then Lee was always the rival, like he always he was like trying to capture the monster too. It wasn't only
Like
just her.
Tsubasa is very different, but I'm not going to really get into
No,
that.
go into it. It's fine. Do it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But the thing is with that is that like with our main characters, like right in Cardcaptor Sakura, they kind of like didn't have an interest in each other till later down the road in the season. But in the Tsubasa, they kind of had a kind of an interest. Like I think it was early. It's kind of like early on. Like they still had the same concept. Like they're both childhood friends and stuff. But then they just changed it a little bit. Like the Card Captor was aimed. They made it for a younger audience, and then Tsubasa was more of a darker version of it.
It was like for more older, I think. Maybe that's
Yeah,
what
it was
it is.
Definitely.
Tsubasa
It was
was,
more
was
older.
geared towards like older teenagers, young adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
older teenager, and then
And they never finished. Like they never completed it. Like the movies, like they were trying to like they did a lot with the series, but then they had movies, but the movies never really completed the show.
Yeah, and I'm hoping now that Clamp started releasing hardcover books of their mangas. I want hardcover books of Tsubasa.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice to get because
Because they're starting with they started with Chobits and they're doing XXX Holic. They're releasing hardcover mangas for that too.
oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
maybe they'll finally complete it, or they'll have maybe they'll. I don't know what they're gonna do with the show.
Okay, so Liz, do you remember? Do you remember this girl? I know there was a rivalry in Card Capture Sakura. That
No, the
she
girl was
had-
her friend.
Which wasn't there one who had a crush on Lee?
Isn't she the one that had like the camera all the time?
Because I know there was a rivalry. I know there was a rivalry because she had a crush on Lee. But then the funny thing is, Lee didn't have too much of an interest with her, and yet she always claimed that that Lee was her boyfriend and all that. And then Lee wasn't have no interest with her, and then he started to grow interest more with Sakura, even though at first he didn't like Sakura in the beginning.
This girl,
But
the one
then-
with the camera. I'll show you her picture. Because
Me
she always had like a camera, and she always used to film Sakura
Yeah.
in like the cute little outfits that she always wore. I think like she had like a crush on Sakura too. Like in the original Japanese version, that's what it was. Like she had a crush on Sakura.
I think it was her. Yeah, I think it was her. Yeah. It's been so long.
I know,
Oh,
it's been
but
so
I think
long.
so too.
That's what I'm thinking because I know that she really did have a crush on Lee, but
No,
I
she
think
had a
she was-
crush. No, originally she had a crush on Sakura. That's why she liked filming Sakura in like the cute little outfits.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you're going based off of the old '90s job where they censored everything. Like I said in our last podcast, they censored the fact that Sakura's brother was in love with her friend that she had a crush on.
Oh yes, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
but that wasn't really the case in the original version. That's why I said Sakura's friend. I forgot her name. I cannot remember her name. The one she always had the video camera with her, like she's always like recording Sakura in like the cute little outfits. It's because like she had a crush on her.
Oh, okay. I did not know
That's
that.
how it
All
was
right.
originally intended.
Okay. I thought she idolized her. I didn't know it was that. I
No,
thought
she had a crush on her.
Uh-huh.
She liked her.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's why going back, like the censorship, even with like Sailor Moon, like they weren't allowed to have like gay or lesbian couples on the show.
But that's why they made them cousins instead.
Yeah,
It's
she-
so
the whole thing-
weird.
Which was
Why
so
would you
weird,
do that?
It's so weird. You like mess up the whole original of the
So
story.
so gays and lesbians are bad, but incest is okay.
I
Yeah.
know. I don't
Oh.
get that either.
Right?
And speaking of censorship in the '90s, that's why over here we never got season 5 because of the Sailor Starlights. The thing is with the Sailor Starlights in the last season is that they disguise themselves as male pop singers, but
Oh,
when
yes.
when they transform into their Sailor Soldier transformation, they have like a female's body because the creator of Sailor Moon, like she has a law where she says that a law or rule, but she says that all Sailor soldiers are female.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of have like transgender thing going on. See, I told you, Sailor Moon was
So she-
was ahead of its time with all this, all
Yeah,
this
and that's
feminism
what-
and LBGT stuff. That's what I'm saying. It was far ahead of its time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And they were very sensitive back then. They were really, really sensitive about how they put on like got it, like they were so, like you said, it's very censored and very like careful what they put on air. Like they didn't want to. And now it's very different today. Like forget that.
Now it's shoved in your face.
It's
Yes.
really shoved in your face. Exactly. A lot.
Yeah, I mean it's okay, but it's sometimes it's a little too much, but it's okay.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's only over here in the West. Like Japan doesn't care about that stuff. Japan just wants to make stories. They don't care about having an agenda.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what it should be. It should be story first and then everything else later.
Exactly.
Like build a good
character
story,
development.
character development, build a good story, and then if you want to put if you want to put stuff like that in there, you give them a reason why that relationship develops. But when you just said this is just the way it is, put it together, you're not building the story up, or you're not building the characters by doing that at all.
Yeah, that's why a lot of Western media is like going down the drain. Like a lot of people are like flocking to anime.
Because there's no content or being afraid of what to write, or kind of thing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure you got to be careful what you write, but it's not as much as they're doing it over here.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm guessing that's probably why you like Sailor Moon a lot too, because
of diversity, because of the diversity.
Diversity.
Yeah.
Diversity,
Yeah,
like,
I do.
It's open-minded about it. It's like really open-minded about that.
Yeah, like I've been saying, Sailor Moon was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
We just weren't ready for it.
we weren't ready. That's
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
what it is. Nobody was ready back then in the 90s about it. So,
Yep.
and now it's changed because now, if you see, Sailor Moon is still one of the most popular.
Yeah, man,
animes.
25 years later, the merchandise is coming out. We got two new movies coming out. The manga
Yeah.
keeps getting re-released in Japan, which they need to stop it because it's draining my wallet.
My niece likes Sailor Moon.
Oh, she does?
She likes the characters. Well, when she gets older, she can watch.
She
the
doesn't
show.
really know what the whole show's about. I think she just likes the little character and the character designs and how they look, kind of thing.
That's what it is.
But she's still kind of young to be really watching
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Wait until she's a little more older to watch the series. When she when she's old enough to watch it. You know what I mean? Not right now because she's still young.
Right.
But I'm saying she just likes the design. And she likes, it's like interesting, like she likes the design about these magical girls. I think that's what she likes the idea
see,
that
even today's generation is, loving Sailor Moon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. The only thing that our nephew likes is just the Pokemon. That's it.
Yeah, he's definitely up to Pokemon, 100%.
Which we will be discussing in our next podcast.
Yes, and I can talk all about Yamper. Because that's all I know. I just
That's
know,
all
yeah,
you
that's
know.
all I know. I just know Yamper, and that he's a good boy, and he deserves all the love and cuddles in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then we could talk about, of course, Pikachu and Babasar and Charmander and all those characters.
and I'll put my 2 cents about Digimon, because we might as well just cram both of those.
Yeah, to get together.
And like compare them and what's different about the two anime that we, watch in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that they're still continuing on to this day. Honestly.
Yeah.
And who's to say I might even get into the games. I might just talk about it.
Yeah, well, that's you. That's gonna be all on you, because
That's gonna be all of me.
Oh,
Next
I
topic.
boy.
I have
Definitely
not
gonna
played
bring
a
that
single
up.
Pokemon game, so I cannot help you with that.
I know, but that's
The only thing I
that's
can
all gonna be on me.
the only thing I can talk about is Yamper. That's it.
I know.
And the Indigo League and I don't even, and I think what it was, the Orange Island League. See, I know
Orange
stuff.
Island.
See, I know
You have
stuff.
cancer. Well, you know what? I don't really want to get into it too much in this podcast, because
Yeah.
then we need to talk about it the next one.
Yes.
Definitely.
Anyways, does anybody have anything else to say about Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon, great anime. Go watch it.
Definitely give it a chance. Give Sailor Moon a chance. And definitely, if if you get the chance, also watch the Sailor Moon Crystal too. Like,
and watch the original Japanese Cardcaptor Sakura if you haven't already watched it.